Welcome to the Deep Dive. Today we're heading down under to Australia. We're looking into their crypto industry.
That's right. There's been a bit of a buzz around a recent government appointment.
Exactly. And why should you care? Well, it could signal shifts in how digital assets are regulated there and, the growth of that whole space. It has wider implications, really.
It does. Watching how different countries handle crypto regulation is always interesting.
Our info for this deep dive comes from a Cointelegraph report. And our mission, as always, is to pull out the key insights.
See what this appointment might actually mean on the ground.
Okay, so let's get into it. The main news. Australia's re-elected government, under Prime Minister Anthony Albanese, has appointed someone called Andrew Charlton.
Yep. He's the new assistant minister for the digital economy, AI, and other emerging tech. Quite a portfolio.
Announced May 12th. And he's not working alone, right? He'll be with Tim Ayres, the Minister for Industry and Innovation.
Right. They'll be working together on policy for these, future-focused areas. I think big picture, it shows the government is really acknowledging how important these digital sectors are becoming.
Putting a dedicated person on it.
Exactly. Focusing attention there. It signals it's seen as vital for, economic growth and innovation down the line.
And here's the hook for the crypto crowd. Andrew Charlton. He's apparently not a stranger to this world.
No, he's got a bit of a history there.
He's actually spoken out in support of the industry before. Back in November, in a parliamentary speech, he apparently argued for a, quote, balanced regulatory framework.
Balanced meaning.
One designed to help it grow, basically, not to clamp down too hard.
That's pretty significant. That prior support, it gives the industry a sense of maybe predictability.
Yeah, they sort of know where he might be coming from.
It's not some unknown quantity. And, his past comments weren't just vague platitudes. He talked specifics, like clear licensing for exchanges, sandboxes for innovation.
Right. Suggests maybe a more clued-in approach than perhaps they've seen before.
Potentially, yeah.
And it wasn't just in Parliament. He actually posted on X back on November 27th, 2024.
Oh, yeah. What did he say?
Pretty direct. Quote, cryptocurrency is shaping the future of finance. And he added that governments need to support that balanced framework.
Wow. Okay, that's quite a statement. Especially now he's in that ministerial role. That kind of public statement, it really carries weight. It shows a kind of conviction in crypto's potential.
Not just a passing interest.
Exactly. And for an industry that often faces, let's be honest, a fair bit of skepticism, having that voice inside government, that could be powerful.
So, no big surprise then. The reaction from Aussie crypto execs seems overwhelmingly positive.
You'd expect so, given his background.
Jason Titman, he's the CEO of Swyftx, an exchange there. He called the appointment, quote, unequivocally good news for crypto in Australia.
Unequivocally good. Strong word.
He even said he expects the blockchain industry is cheering.
That really captures the mood, doesn't it? A sense of relief, maybe? Or just pure optimism.
Titman seems to think it's because Charlton has a, quote, deep understanding of blockchain and believes it can actually help the Australian economy.
So it's not just seen as a political nod, but based on some actual understanding of the tech itself.
That seems to be the perception, yeah.
Which is important, right? If you're going to regulate something effectively, you kind of need to understand how it works, at least fundamentally.
And Titman's hope now is that Charlton, along with the new assistant treasurer, Daniel Molino,
another key player,
that they'll, quote, fast-track legislation around digital assets.
Fast track. That's the key phrase.
Because, Titman pointed out, the industry's been waiting for like 6 or 7 years, he said.
6 or 7 years. Wow. That's a long time to operate in regulatory limbo.
Definitely explains the cheering, maybe.
Absolutely. That uncertainty, it really hampers things. Investment, innovation.
Yeah.
You need clear rules of the road. So, yeah, you can see why they're hoping Charlton speeds things up.
And it wasn't just Swyftx. We also heard from Crypto.com's Australian head, Vakul Talawar.
Another big name. What was his take?
Similar vibe. Said the appointment signals the growing importance of the digital economy. He also mentioned how much the industry has grown since the 2022 election.
Which has been significant, yeah.
And he stressed the need for appropriate regulations, especially as crypto gets more tangled up with traditional finance.
That integration point is key. As crypto becomes more mainstream, the need for sensible guardrails just becomes more obvious. It's about maturity.
And speaking of growth, we actually have some numbers. Independent Reserve put out data in April.
Oh, interesting. What did it show?
Get this. Around 31% of Australian adults have owned or currently own crypto.
31%.
Yeah, roughly 6.2 million people. and that's up from 28% the year before.
Wow. Nearly a third of adults.
Yeah.
That's not niche anymore, is it?
Not at all. That's a substantial slice of the population.
It really underlines why the government, well, needs to get regulation right. You've got millions of citizens involved.
And Edward Carroll from MHC Digital Group, he sort of echoed that. He thinks Charlton has known for a while that a constructive financial ecosystem is important.
Right.
Carroll emphasized Charlton's support for digital assets, blockchain's potential, and the need for quick, appropriate regulation. Why? To keep Australia competitive globally.
That global competition angle is crucial. This isn't happening in isolation. Countries are vying to be hubs for this stuff.
If Australia drags its feet,
They risk falling behind. Capital, talent, innovation, it could all go elsewhere if the environment isn't right.
even looking beyond specific crypto firms, Damien Kasabgi, the CEO of the Tech Council of Australia,
Right, a broader tech industry group.
he saw adding digital economy to the ministry's title as a strong signal. A signal about the government's commitment to future job growth in tech.
So framing it as part of a wider economic strategy, not just about crypto, but AI, blockchain, the whole digital transformation piece.
Makes sense.
And it shows a recognition that this sector is a major driver for future jobs, future economy.
It's also worth remembering, like you said, this isn't happening out at the blue. The government, the center-left Labour Party, they actually proposed a new crypto framework back in March.
Yeah, I remember that. They were looking at regulating exchanges under existing financial services laws, weren't they?
That was the idea. So the wheels were already turning, maybe slowly, but turning.
Charlton's appointment could be seen as putting more fuel in that engine, perhaps, accelerating those plans.
Could be. And the government had also promised to look into the whole debanking issue.
Ah, yes, where crypto businesses struggle to get basic banking services, a major headache for the industry.
Definitely. Plus, they started industry consultations way back in August 2022 to help shape the rule.
So they have been engaging, listening to the industry to some extent.
Seems like it. There's been groundwork.
Which hopefully means any new regulation won't be completely out of touch with the realities on the ground.
Okay, so if we pull back and look at the themes emerging here, what are the main takeaways?
Well, first, clearly, there's this huge pent-up demand in the Aussie crypto industry for clear regulation. And not just clear, but timely.
That 6 to 7 year wait really highlights that. They see this appointment as maybe finally some movement.
Second, there's just this growing recognition, both inside the industry and now, it seems, more formally in government, of how significant the digital economy and crypto within it has become in Australia.
Those adoption numbers, nearly a third of adults, that really drives it home.
It really does.
And finally, there's this undercurrent of potential. The potential for innovation, for economic growth, tied to blockchain and digital assets.
Yeah, the industry clearly believes that with the right rules, Australia could really benefit. It's not just about managing risk. It's about seizing opportunity.
So, wrapping up our deep dive today, the mood in the Australian crypto scene, pretty optimistic, you'd have to say.
Definitely seems that way.
The appointment of Andrew Charlton, someone seen as pro-crypto, to this key digital economy role, it's viewed as a really positive sign.
A step towards that regulatory clarity they've been seeking, and maybe a boost for future growth.
It really leaves you with a question, though. You know, considering that huge jump in crypto ownership in Australia, almost a third of adults involved.
Yeah, what are the knock-on effects?
Exactly. If they do get clearer digital asset rules in the next few years, what does that mean for society, for the economy more broadly? What new chances or maybe challenges pop up for regular people and businesses as crypto and traditional finance keep merging?
Definitely something to think about. How deep will that integration go, and what will it look like? Food for thought.